Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because I literally just got back from watching it. This movie is where they finally decide to introduce Gerald and Shadow. They finally decided to introduce Gerald Robotnik and Shadow into the mix, where they explain Maria, Shadow being so angry all the time, and Gerald's want for revenge on humanity. When originally, in the original game, he dies with Maria in the space station where they're doing their work. In this story, they're on Earth doing their work, but this time Gerald survives and Maria gets shot. Well, originally she got shot by a gun, and this time she was blown up. It was a big switch in the storyline because it's not entirely correct from Sonic Adventures 2 and Shadow, the video game, and it was a great movie. I mean, I think we can all say that, spoilers ahead anyways, I think we can go ahead and all say that we all know that Dr. Ivo and Robotnik and Shadow survived the big explosion. I think we can all go ahead and just get that out of the way, because there's two post-credit scenes. There's one where they introduce Metal Sonic and Amy, and then there's another one where it shows that Shadow survived. We have nothing to show that Ivo survived, but it's Dr. Eggman, we're right out loud. He's been blown up by by the Death Egg multiple times. He's been shot. He's blown up, shot, crushed. It doesn't matter. He's had everything. This man is still alive. There is no way he's not. Because if he's not alive, then I don't know how Shadow survived. Because even though this is based in the real world where Trump is the president and people can go to Disney World and buy a soda for $10, even though it's based in the real world, Ivo still survived. I'm telling you, he's alive. You can't change my mind about that. But it was a great movie either way. The whole story was that you don't have to let your pain consume you, which is a great story that they should be telling people, or a great message for a story, because that is basically the original storyline, except they didn't bring in, I can't remember what they're called because I haven't watched somebody play Shadow in a while, and I haven't played it ever, but I haven't researched it in a while, but they didn't bring in the group that Shadow got his power from or anything of that sort. But like it talked about how his power is chaos energy and how he's it didn't say anything about him being the ultimate life form. But they did have a Live and Learn remix at the scene where him and Sonic both go super, and they also had the iconic Shadow and Sonic image where they're in front of the moon. But this time the moon was like cut into thirds, so it wasn't entirely correct. But even though some things were left out for the storyline, like Rouge the Bat or the other Chaotix, or Omega the Robot, even though they left that stuff out completely, it was still a great movie, great storyline. I'm glad I watched it instead of Mufasa. I haven't seen anything from Mufasa other than the song that's been trending, or was trending, is now bad. But I did watch some previews from Mufasa, not looking really good for them, because all they do is they lie. That's basically all they're doing, claiming that they're #1 in America, #1 nationwide, all through America, all through the world. That it is #1 trending when it did 3 million, and Sonic the Hedgehog did a lot more. I can't remember what the exact number was. I'm gonna put it up on the screen though. It got a lot more money than Mufasa did, because Disney has fallen off big time. But anyways, moving on from that, I think that if they could fix a few things, it would be to bring in Rouge the Bat and Omega, because they really fit into the Shadow the Hedgehog story. They gave Shadow a gun, they gave him a motorcycle. That was basically Shadow in the Shadow video game. He had a gun, he had a motorcycle, he killed multiple beings and saved the world. I think that they had that nailed pretty well. Other than that, it was a really good movie. They brought in the ultimate weapon, the Apocalypse Cannon, or the Eclipse Cannon. They brought in the Eclipse Cannon that Gerald made, But this time he was controlling it, and he was the main villain, and Dr. Ivo Robotnik was the hero who saved the day with Shadow. Which doesn't make sense, because in the original story, Gerald and Maria die on the same day, same time, because they both get shot and blown up, and Shadow is the only one that survives that attack. So he survives the attack and everything, but the one thing that they really missed out on was that originally they die, Ivo takes the machine and he tries to destroy the world, where he does end up cutting a part of the moon off, which they kept in, and that is the first time that Shadow goes super. But I think that they missed out the fact that that Gerald and Maria were dead, and Ivo was still alone, and he worked with Shadow and then betrayed Shadow, and then tried to destroy the world, but then got caught and stopped by Shadow, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Rouge. There's the Chaotix, we had met all the characters by this point in the story in the video games, but other than that, it was a great movie because they really did incorporate a lot of things, and I was speechless, I was breathless when they brought in the Live and Learn remix and the scene where Sonic and Shadow did the little pose thing that they do. I think that it was worth it, because if you want a great movie, then there's one right there. Probably the greatest movie of 2024 other than Transformers 1. I loved it so much, and I don't think I have anything bad to say about it other than they just missed out on a few things. There was a great line where Ivo Robotnik sacrificed himself, Shadow sacrificed himself, even though they're both still alive. Their sacrifice was not meaningless. They did save the world. Agent Stone is now depressed because he doesn't have Ivo Robotnik to drink his Austrian goat milk steamed Austrian goat milk coffee. Or he doesn't have a best friend anymore. He is alone and sad. Which is a great way to end with a new character, or a newer character. I feel bad for Stone, because he is treated horribly in this entire movie. And it really shows, because there's a scene where Ivo fires Stone, and Stone is talking to him, and he's like, "You've been jealous of me and my grandpa ever since we met. You're fired until, well, actually, I'm gonna need you to stay on the team until I can clone you, and then you're fired," which is a pretty weird scene. Not to mention, they did actually reference God. He said, Ivo says something in French. He says, "You be with God." You be with God, something hedgehog. Which I think is pretty cool. He's saying, God be with you, Godspeed. Because God is the ultimate power. And I think it's really cool that they incorporated that in, because not many movies can put that in there without getting shut down. But I think overall, with a mild swearing and stuff in a kids movie, it was a great movie, great story. They really executed the Eclipse Cannon, Shadow the Hedgehog, Maria, Gerald. They really eliminated that and terminated it very well in the way that they made the movie. And I don't hate this movie at all. I actually really love it. That's a new top 5 movie. So we're gonna go for top 5. We're gonna go number 1, Revenge of the Fallen. Number 2 is gonna be, number 2 is gonna be Sonic the Hedgehog 3, because that was a good movie. Number 3 is gonna be Iron Man. Number 4, Sonic the Hedgehog, and number 5, my number 5 movie. Number 5, what would that be? I'd probably have to say Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. But anyways, I've talked in circles about it being a great movie, and I have nothing bad to say about it. But I'm saving it for the last time for this video. Great movie. Go watch it when you can. I think it's digital now. I think you can buy it and watch it. Not on Paramount Plus though yet. I would suggest watching the first and the second one and reading up on the video games and stuff to see the original lore and the new lore put together in a new way. But overall, that's it. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe. See ya.